Good evening. This is Mrs. V with topics of what's hot and what's not in and around the world, as well as psychology. As promised, I will continue discussing the royals and the funeral of Prince Philip, but that will come next week. With the verdict of the murder of George Floyd, there seems to have become a wave or a movement, so much so that there is a bill sitting in the Senate as we speak called the George Floyd bill. And so I thought to myself, you can change laws, you can even create laws, but you have to first change the heart of man. Because without that, that is just ink to paper. So then I was reminded of a poem that I did in high school during my speech and drama years. Now this poem was between W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Both were very influential in the struggle for equality during the 1900s. Booker T. Washington, born a mulatto, his father was white, he never knew who his father was. W.E. Du Bois, on the other hand, grew up in an affluent neighborhood, went to white schools, basically became the very first African American to earn a doctorate from Harvard University. Meanwhile, W.E.B. Du Bois would later move to Ghana to live. As far as Booker T. Washington, he was born a slave, but he soon became one of the most elite African Americans in Washington. So, I'm going to recite that poem to you. It sure seems to me, said Booker T, that you sticking your head in that book when Miss Ann needs a cook or Mr. needs some help with the land. Why are you sticking your head in that book? I don't agree, said W.E.B. For if I should have the drive to seek knowledge, Miss Ann and Mr. can look for another hand or a cook. You see, some men rejoice in skill of hand, some in cultivating the land. But Lord, there are others who maintain the right to cultivate the brain. Sure seems to me, said Booker T, that all you folks didn't miss the boat shouting about the right to vote and spend vain days, Lord, and sleepless nights in an uproar over civil rights. Child, you best keep your mouth shut. Do not grouse, but work, save, and buys a house. I don't agree, said W.E.B. For what can property avail if dignity and injustice fail? If you do not help to make these laws, they'll steal your house with turnip claws. A rope is tight, a fire is hot, no matter how much cash you've got. Speak softly and try your little plan. But as for me, I'll be a man. Sure seems to me, said Booker T. I don't agree, said W.E.B. And that poem means so much to me because Booker T. Washington felt that by gaining economic wealth that you then could change the hearts of the oppressors. Whereas W.E.B. Du Bois believed that educating yourself and being active and helping to make the laws was the way for freedom from the oppressors. Well, as we have seen, none of the above seems to be working. We have laws in place. We even have police officers that are good. But we also have police officers whose heart has never changed. And this country was woven together on that heart, the heart that felt superior, the heart that felt that we weren't even human beings, that we were 2/3 of a person. And somehow, as I look at the news daily, and young minorities, particularly African Americans, are being killed by the dozens. So, have we really come so far? And I wonder if Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois were still alive, how would that debate have gone? So, my condolences to the Floyd family. And it is my hope that we do start making laws so that they don't keep killing our children with term clause. I ask you to subscribe to my channel. I have a Patreon list, and I also am a life coach and a counselor in psychology. You can find me on Bark, B-A-R-K, and read a little bit about my bio. And so for now, I thank you, God bless you, and have a wonderful evening.